Here we have the diminutive AstroLab 37 from Arturia. It's essentially the same brain with the same or very similar controls to the larger and much more expensive 61 and 88 key variations. This has got an RRP of just £599 and offers the same access to all those AnalogLab sounds from the Arturia V Collection 11. And that currently stands at 45 classic synths, pianos and organs, plus their augmented instruments, as well as sounds from Pigments, which is Arturia's flagship, super flexible, all-in-one super duper synth with 6 different engines. And as with the other AstroLab synths, you don't need a computer at all. It's the software packaged in a standalone hardware synth with a nice clear interface, access to macros and effects, ARPs, chord modes, everything you might expect. And on startup, there are around 2,000 sounds in AnalogLab, plus you've got access to the sound store, so if there's a style or tone you're after, you'll definitely find something or lots of things of interest here. And here's some free ones, so I'll pick them up while I'm here. So just the synth and the bundled AnalogLab will probably give you everything you need. But if, like me, you're into creating your own sounds and own the V Collection, you can edit the sounds on the V Collection synths within AnalogLab. Add the macros over here on the right, so you can then tweak your sounds live. Create a playlist for the gig, create a song, and then load the sound into the song. Getting out the box, the first thing you notice is just how compact it is, and I was surprised, probably because I've played the larger ones. We've got the larger one, the 61 here. But yeah, getting out the box, it felt really compact. It's almost the size of like a desktop module, and it's about the same size as the KeyStep 37, a little bit smaller than the KeyStep Pro, and a little bit larger than the new KeyStep 2. It's got 37 mini keys, so this variant obviously hasn't been designed with keys players in mind, but if you did want to play it with larger keys, just plug a larger keyboard into the MIDI input on the back. It acts as a MIDI host, so you can play it with any MIDI controller keyboard that you might have. On the back, we've got a USB-C, full-size stereo 1/4-inch jacks, 5-pin MIDI in and out. The USB port we can use for external keys or storage. We've got a sustain pedal input and an audio input so you can process external audio with things like the vocoder.
Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination.
Here it is then, and it's a surprisingly compact, as I say, nice little thing. It's quite light, but not super light, but everything's put together really well. The keys feel nice. The knobs are nice, the screen's nice and clear, you know. Feels like a quality bit of kit. And what I thought I'd do with this is, in case you've not seen anything about the AstroLabs before, because they were much more expensive for the 61 and the 88 key versions, it might not have come into your radar. So what is it? How do you use it? Well, we've got this main screen in the center, and this is where you do everything, basically. I've got it synced up to AnalogLab at the minute, so you can see on AnalogLab, as I move through different presets, it's updating on the computer, as you might expect it would. So yeah, we've got a main menu system in the center, and we can scroll through all these thousands of different sounds we've got here in different ways. So we can look at the different type of instruments, so keys, leads, pads, piano. So let's hit electric piano, and these are all the Arturia, as I say, really nice, high quality instruments that they've got in the V Collection. Let's go back, let's look at pad. So this is a CS80, famed for being used by Vangelis. This is Pigments. I don't know if the camera's picking up these graphics. Again, this is Pigments. This is 2 instruments. And And if we have a look at AnalogLab, just hit in there, we can see we've got pigments and the DX7. And if we do have the V collection, we can edit that to within an inch of its life. We can do whatever we want to it. And then we can save it on the AstroLab or into AnalogLab on the computer. So all the edits that we create on AnalogLab from the V collection, we can throw into this. So this is the V collection in a box, basically, if you've got that. But you don't really need it, to be honest. There's so many sounds in here. Open DX7. There you go. We could edit that. Let's go back. We can edit the preset itself. So editing the preset is editing the effects. We've got effects here, 4 effects, effects A, effects B, and they can be signed to Synth 1 or Synth 2, and the delay and the reverb are send effects, so they can go to both. So in this, we've got the delay and the reverb. Let's unlink them. So the delay and reverb, they can go to both. We can have the chorus on part 2, or swap those round. And if you're wondering what these orange and green lines along the bottom are for, these are for the layering and the keyboard splits. We can split it into discrete orange and green sections. You can overlap them, or you can have them layered across the whole keyboard. And just quickly, while we're here, it's worth showing you that it does show the disk usage on the top here as well. Using 9.12 gigabytes of 23 gigabytes. And that's with all these sounds and samples in it. Just quickly run through the whole lot. So there's a fair amount in there, isn't there? So there's loads of memory for absolutely tons of sounds. Anyway, let's go back to the effects. I'm showing you them in AnalogLab because it's easier to show you how many there are. So there's a fair amount of different effects in there. And they're all decent effects. I'll play some in a second. 3 different types of delays. And a load of different types of reverb. And they're all accessed over here on the synth. Press shift and we can edit them. So if we go to that reverb, edit the reverb, digital reverb, okay. It's enabled. What should we have it as? Let's have it as, got some presets up here. Look at the presets. Let's go to this infinite one because it's really obvious. Turn it up. There we go. And you can see that updating on the software. But you can see you don't need the software. Over here on the left hand side we've got these macro knobs. I'll just show you what's happening on there. Let's come back into the synths. So we've got brightness. We've all got brightness, timbre, time and movement. And these are set up in the presets in AnalogLab to do different things, but similar things on most sounds. If we open pigments, for example, let's go to the macros. We can change the macros. So let's, I don't know, let's put that on the cutoff. Let's change the cutoff on this so we can see what's happening a bit more obviously. Let's put that onto a low pass. Let's learn this. So cut off, learn, cut off. If we look at that now, we can see that we've got these various values in there. So there's a change of brightness. Changing that cutoff. Let's change the resonance as well, just to make it much more obvious. If we go into the resonance there, again we can adjust how that works. So See, we're just in the cutoff and the resonance with one knob. So with 4 macro knobs, you've basically got all you need. And again, we could save that onto the synth itself. Over here, save it on the AstroLab. Come back to the timbres themselves, or the tones themselves. We can, as I say, we can access them in various different ways. So we've got types, we've got instruments, and these are the 45 different instruments plus pigments that you get in the V collection. So augmented voices. We can see again that's all changing on the software. Come back again. So there's the various instruments. I'll just show you actually that we've got loads of really nice soft synths and stuff in there as well. You have to play that if you're playing African main brass. And I could go on forever because there's literally thousands of them in here, but that's how you access the different synth engines, and there's loads of different things in there, as I say. Artists, this is quite funky, so there's all sorts of different artists in here. Let's start at the start. Heart, Air, I like these. If you know your Moon Safari, you'll recognise that. Fem Strings, we've got a string ensemble. That you might recognise as well. Nice mini mode bass. Can't remember how to play any of these tracks, but I know the tracks and this is what they sound like. So yeah, we got Aphex Twin, Beatles, Birds of Canada, Bruno Mars, all sorts of things. Daft Punk, David Bowie, Depeche Mode. You know, let's have a listen to Duran Duran there as well. Depeche Mode, what have we got in there? I don't know any of these. But hopefully you're getting the idea that there's loads of different ways to access all these tones. So we've got liked presets, the ones you've liked. Sound banks in here, we've got the factory one, and then I've put my one in there as well, my synthwave bank. And then we've got playlists, so whatever you like. If you're going to do a gig and you want to create a playlist for that gig, click on new playlist, go into there, and then we can add songs to that as well, and then we can edit those songs. Along Hold will edit things. So rename the song, we can go and we can rename it. So when you get to your gig, you've got all your songs filled with the sounds that you're going to need for each song within that playlist for that gig. Just in case you were wondering how do you get from one sound to another without spending forever trying to do it. And then, of course, we've got settings, so just general settings, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So Wi-Fi, you can access it from your phone, from the app on your phone, and also Bluetooth. You can play this, have this as like a Bluetooth interface. So I've been using my iPhone to play stuff through this on my big speakers, which is quite cool. Also, we can access the sounds using these easy, quick access buttons here. But let's try something. Let's put play a bit of that delay, because I like this delay as well. So let's turn the time down on that. But let's try and find a snappier tone actually. Let's go to pianos again. Okay, so we'll edit the delay. We'll go to a tape delay. I just wanted to show you this, really just to show you the quality of the effects. So we'll have it on sync type, we'll have that on synced. And then if we turn the intensity up, it goes into that nice sort of self-oscillation. Let's turn it up. Nice, that, innit? I just love all this sort of stuff. Obviously, we can filter it. Let's just turn that down. Turn the intensity down below 1, so it doesn't go to self-oscillation, but... So if you have that on, and then let's put that massive reverb on again, shall we? Digital reverb, preset infinites on. Let's edit the delay. Go back into that and make it a little bit slower. Yeah, so really nice effect is always trying to show there. We can also, with the effects A and B that I've got all the different effects on, obviously we can find them all in there as well. If we take a look at that in the software, edit the preset. So let's put that onto a chorus. Oops, preset. And everything's changing again on the software. And that just means that everything that you do on this, you can save on your computer as well and do whatever you want with it in your DAW. Let's come out of the effects, shift and back. And then we can, let's load another type of tone. So what should we load? Let's have a look at types. What should we go for? Oh, drums. Let's have a look at that. Ochonimio. Yeah, I wanted to show you the ARP actually, so it's not the best thing to show you with it. Let's go to the instruments again. And let's load something like, I don't know, Jupiter 8. Classic. Analog synth. Let's find something. This'll do, simplicity, it's already got an ARP on it. Hold it. To edit, press and hold. Sync it, obviously. Triplets or dotted. And then different types of arpeggiator. Reversed, up and down. All the things you might expect to get. Turn that up again. On top of that, we've got chord modes as well and scales. So press shift and scale. We're in a major at the minute, so if we press chord, come into that, edit this, scale. We've got it on a major, so you can't play any, let's take the ARP off, you can't play any of the black notes. So the chord off. You know what scales do, don't you? But just to show you that there's a load in here. And then let's go back to the chord mode. Actually, turn the scale off. Oops, back. Scale off. And then come to the chord mode. Turn chord mode on. We've got different chord types in here. And you can create your own as well. Wonder if the brightness is working on this one. Yeah. Doing exactly what you might expect it to do. And again, if we come into the instrument itself, so let's open the Jupiter 8, then we can see what it's doing. time. So if you do have the V collection, you've basically got it in here, which I think is rather marvelous, to be honest. I know I'm talking about the size of it. That's not a miracle of modern science, is it, to have a computer chip in something this size? But I don't know, it just feels really neat. So I think I've showed everything I was going to show. You can go straight to your playlist with the playlist button. Anything else I was thinking of? You got a pitch bend and a modulation wheel, octave up, octave down. But no, I think I've showed everything I'd like to show on that. The big take home for me is that, I mean, I was in a band once, just with my mates, having a bit of fun. It was a pure party band and we were doing covers and really mad mashups and stuff. And I used to take an iPad and a controller keyboard because I could get loads of sound from the iPad. If I had this would be what I'd be taking, to be honest. Obviously, it's a nice compact unit, and if you do want to take a controller keyboard, you can as well. Other use case for it would be if you do make your own tones and you're really into your V collection and making stuff, well, yeah, you can get them all, take them out of the computer. You don't have to take your laptop anywhere with you anymore. You can keep it all nice and neat in this. So there you have it, the AstroLab 37. It's a nice compact unit. The only issue I've had with it since I've been playing with it is that occasionally I've lost contact with it, and AnalogLab just got turned on and off again, and it was working. So I don't know if that's an endemic thing or the fact that my computer's on its last legs, because its memory is absolutely packed because I had it for a few years. But that's the only thing I've noticed on it that might be an issue, but I don't think it's an issue. I think it is down to my computer being a few years old and being packed full of nonsense. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was of some use to somebody somewhere. If it was, please do subscribe, ring the bell, join me over on Patreon. There's patches and samples and stuff to download on my StarskyCarr.com website as well. It's always nice when people pick up those things, but do join me on Patreon, because that does really help to support the channel and massively appreciated. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time.